Bryce was an ordinary 4-year-old boy. He liked superheroes, toy guns, and roughhousing. And like most kids, he had a mommy and daddy who thought he was the cutest, smartest, sweetest, and toughest thing in the universe.
My name is Nicole, and my son is Bryce. He's 5 years old, started kindergarten this year. He's a great kid. He is full of life and energy for sure. He is an Iron Man fanatic, so anything that you would want to know about Iron Man, you ask him. He knows everything. Every conversation that we have pretty much is surrounded around Iron Man. He's just a good-hearted kid. He's strong. He's like my little hero.
My name's Bryce and I'm 5 years old.
My son, Bryce, was diagnosed at 4 years old with acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
When I was about 8 months pregnant, Bryce started waking up at night with what he was saying, leg pains. And so he was fine for about 4 weeks. And then he started complaining about leg pains again. And so when we had spoke with the doctor at my youngest son's 2-week appointment, he had thought maybe it was just growing pains.
It was, without question, the worst moment of my life when we got the diagnosis.
To be honest, I wasn't even 100% sure what that was, what exactly that meant.
You're not educated on stuff that you don't need to be educated on. It's not relevant until it's relevant. And so when they tell you your 4-year-old son has leukemia, you think my 4-year-old son's gonna die. And that was awful. Bryce didn't really understand what Dr. Happy was talking about. Luckily, Bryce's daddy was there to explain it all to him.
Because Bryce didn't understand why am I getting all of this medicine? What is this for? Why am I getting blood? Why am I getting all of these things? So to put it into, at the time when he was 4, a 4-year-old's perspective, my husband came up with their blood ninjas. The medicine has the ninjas in it, and the medicine is going into your system, and they're killing all of the bad leukemia cells, and they're using their ninja stars and their swords, and they're fighting them all off. So if you didn't get that medicine, the ninjas wouldn't be able to get in there and do all of that.
I do go to the doctor sometimes to check if the leukemia is still in.
He told Bryce that he had millions of tiny evil robots called leukemias inside his body. He said that they were copying themselves really fast, and that they had made so many more of themselves that there wasn't enough room for them to fit in his legs anymore.
I get Dr. Happy gives me the blood ninjas, and the blood ninjas rip off the leukemias, the head, arms, and legs, and they slice them with swords, and throw ninja stars at them, hit them with nunchucks.
Was introduced to Keaton Raphael Foundation through Kaiser Roseville when my son was diagnosed with leukemia. The first thing that we got from them was a care package when we returned from the hospital. There was a care package for Bryce to have and open up when he got home, and also one for my youngest son, who was only 7 weeks at the time. So that was kind of our first thing with Keaton Raphael. And then just kind of throughout the last year and a half, we've been able to get together with them through fundraisers at restaurants, the Rhythm and Rims, and
I went to the Keaton Raphael thing one time, like a walk for the Keaton Raphael with a bunch of other people. It was the Kings game, so I get to go to the Kings game.
They've been able to just support us and at more of a friendly level, and making us, letting us know that they care and that they're there, and to help with anything that we may need. So they've been a good support system.
They've just been there. Really is the best thing. and Bryce knows that. Bryce knows that they're there, for him and like him, but they also are there for other kids in the same situation. And
it's made me realize what's actually important. I mean, I think when you're faced with something that, something like this that you would never expect in your wildest dreams that would happen to you, you stop and you realize what is actually important in your life. Realize that your family is what's important and your child is what's important, and that all those other things can get taken care of and done at a certain time. So let's focus on what we have right now. You know what bad is. You know what a bad day is. And, there's nothing, being told, your child has leukemia, there's nothing that can be, worse than that news at that moment. So it's just kind of, I've dealt with, I've had that. So it's like, okay, I can take on some other things. As a family, as a unit, we can be strong and we can do this.
He's had so much support from family, from Lukeet and Raphael, from, everything. To everyone around him, Bryce was back to normal. He was back at school, he was roughhousing like the big goofball he'd always been, and he was even able to start playing sports again. But Bryce knew that inside his body, there was an army of grizzled, battle-tested ninjas patrolling for hiding robots, ready to strike them down for good. Bryce and the Blood Ninjas wouldn't rest until every single evil robot was dead and gone. And the ninjas are still on guard.